This video is brought to you by Skillshare. You're about to learn some of the worst scams out there right now, and the last thing you want to do is fall victim to any of these cybercriminals. Luckily, Skillshare has your back, with classes available right now, like a hacker's guide to securing your iPhone and a hacker's guide to secure online browsing. You can learn how to keep yourself safe in the digital jungle right now. Skillshare is a perfect place to learn new skills or improve your existing ones. The first 1,000 people to sign up by visiting the link in the description will receive 2 months of Skillshare absolutely free. Join Skillshare and start learning today. Now, let's start the video. Back in the good old days, tricksters usually plied their trade out in the open. Outside airports, not-so-savvy tourists got taken for a ride. All around the world, you still see tourists paying exorbitant amounts of money for taxis driven by unlicensed drivers. Over in parts of Asia, they have famous jewel scams, whereby foreigners think they're getting the gem deal of the century. In China, you might get approached by a pretty innocent-looking girl who only wants to practice English, and then she takes you to the most expensive tea shop you've ever seen. In many countries, you might get corrupt police telling you that you committed a misdemeanor, and if you don't pay them a huge fine, you'll be going straight to jail. But today, we'll look at only digital trickery in this episode of the Infographics Show, Worst Online Scams. 10. Phishing scams. This goes at the top because in general, you're not going to lose much if you fall for it. Saying that, most of us have been inundated by phishing scams throughout our lives. You might receive an email in your inbox that looks like it might have come from PayPal or Microsoft or even your bank. In that email, there might be a link you're asked to click on, and then you might be asked to enter some sensitive data into what looks like a legitimate website. It's not legitimate, and you might be handing someone your login and password details. As most of you know, these companies would never ask you to click on a link and then enter those sensitive details. It's usually easy to see that the email address that sent you the email is not the one the company would use. Next time your bank tells you that your account is in jeopardy or Microsoft says your Outlook account is about to be deleted, just ignore it. As we've said, phishing scams are something we put up with often, but some scams you will see have a much darker element to them. 9. Lottery scam. Wow, you wake up in the morning and discover you are suddenly a millionaire. You've gone and won the lottery, even though you don't play the lottery. You're told there was some kind of mistake and you ended up winning. This has never happened in real life, and it won't. You might read something like this: all participants were selected randomly from World Wide website through computer draw system and extracted from over 100,000 companies. Then you're told to collect your millions, but there's a catch. You have to pay an amount up front before you can get the prize. It's just a processing fee, but of course, it's just a way to get some cash from you. You're thinking no one would fall for this, surely. Well, there's a sucker born every minute. In June, a woman in Canada was told she had won $2.5 million and a car. She ended up paying $13,000 for the so-called processing fees. Again, delete all emails telling you that you've won the lottery. 8. Sextortion. This scam consists of someone telling you they have installed malware on your machine and it has given them access to your camera. Through it, they have seen you practicing the art of carnal self-service in front of some adult content. It's not something you'd want to share with your friends, parents, colleagues, or wife. The email might say something like this: I made a split-screen video. First part recorded the video you were viewing. You've got a fine taste, haha. And next part recorded your webcam. Yep, it's you doing nasty things. According to an article published in the British media, you'll be asked to make a payment. You might also read this: if I don't get the payment, I will send your video to all of your contacts, including relatives, co-workers, and so forth. Nonetheless, if I do get paid, I will erase the video immediately. Security experts tell us that someone might have gotten your password, but the video of you wrestling with your crown jewels will not exist. Don't fear, your secret is still safe with you. 7. Naked pics for cash. This scam is similar, but in this case, there will be a photo or video of you that you don't want the world seeing. This scam is pretty simple in that at first you'll get one of those "Hi darling" messages from a beautiful woman. That woman, of course, is some guy or guys probably laughing their heads off somewhere. At some point, she will ask for a naked photo of you, and you send it. You then get blackmailed. Send some cash or that photo goes online. We don't need to tell you that this happens a lot and that you can find many cases online. What to do if this happens to you? Your only choice is to take their power away and bite the bullet. Tell them that you won't pay them. One person on Quora writes, most of the time the threats are empty and they just want to control you. So let them know you won't talk to them or accept any contact and stick to it. Good advice. Better advice is don't be sharing your junk with strangers. In fact, try not to share it with anyone. You never know when it might come back to bite you. 6. Love scam. There are also people who will fall madly in love with you online, and you might feel you have finally found the one. ScamWatch tells us scammers will go to great lengths to gain your trust and interest, such as showering you with love words, sharing personal information, and even sending you gifts. But it could all be a ruse. Suddenly, this person might need something back from you. They might be experiencing a medical emergency. They might want to visit you, but need the funds to fly out to your little town from their wretched place where they want to escape from. They might just want gifts, such as a new computer or smartphone, as they would love to keep chatting with you, but their machine is old and it keeps breaking. We found a recent scam in Thailand where Nigerian men were scamming cash from lonely Thai women. The men would pretend to be handsome European men. These fake guys would tell the woman they had come to Thailand, but they were stopped at customs with all their cash and just needed around $3,000 to get through customs. Some people fell for it. Lots of people are lurking on dating sites with an aim to take your cash. Don't be a victim. A photo with a name is just that, not yet a real human. Treat it that way. 5. Get rich quick. If it sounds too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Embrace this adage and you should get through life without falling for too many scams. There are tons of online scams offering amazing jobs, and guess what? You're the right candidate. There's no job, but you'll have to pay a bit to find that out. You might also find amazing investments online, and if they sound too good, well, they are. We found lots of cases of people being offered jobs, but to land the job, a fee had to be paid up front, or even travel costs if it meant the person leaving the country. You could just work from home for $100 an hour, and that's just great as you have no work experience and are not very good at anything. The job doesn't exist. Thoroughly do your research on any company you find online. 4. Exploiting good hearts. There are people who only want to take advantage of your beautiful heart. ScamWatch tells us fake charity approaches occur all year round and often take the form of a response to a real disaster or emergency, such as a flood, cyclones, earthquakes, or bushfires. The charity may look legitimate, but that cash you send will not be going to people in need and instead be filling some unscrupulous person's pockets. 3. The Nigerian Rich Prince Scam. Nigeria seems to be home to many of the world's online scam artists. You've all likely received an email at some point, often grammatically incoherent, and it's some rich guy who loves church and needs to move his millions out of his country. He'll probably bless you a lot. To get his cash out, he needs your help and an upfront sum of money. Once you've sent that, you'll get part of his great wealth. Snopes writes, in a nutshell, the con works by blinding the victim with promises of an unimaginable fortune. Once the sucker is sufficiently glittery-eyed over the prospect of becoming fabulously rich, he is squeezed for however much money he has. What's a mere $5,000 when you stand to get millions? Has anyone actually fallen for this? Yes, and lots of people. A journalist from Mother Jones went to visit some of these scammers in Nigeria in 2014. She said the scammers, mostly young men, were honest about what they did, and they also told her many people fall for their lies. Some of them were earning $60,000 a year. 2. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency scams. There are lots of Bitcoin scams. One way people might lose money in Bitcoin is when the Bitcoin exchange gets hacked. This happened to Mt. Gox that lost about 850,000 Bitcoins that were worth around $450 million. Then you had fake websites that offered Bitcoin wallets, or a bunch of fake ICOs that might make you think you're going to make a small fortune if you invest in a certain cryptocurrency. The US Securities and Exchange Commission even set up a fake ICO in 2017 with a currency called Howie Coin just to show people how the scam worked. 1. The Hitman Scam. This might be the scariest scam out there. Imagine one day you receive an email from someone telling you they are contract killers and they're going to take out someone you love. What chills your bones is that they know everything about you and the person who is going to die. In other cases, the hitman might tell you that they've been hired by someone who you know to kill you. They won't do the job if you send a large amount of money. The Australian press wrote in 2017 that this scam was becoming more popular. The scammers have done done their work too. They'll likely have your address, phone number, know where you work, and what you like to do when you're free. So much information can be found out about a person with some effort. Someone was doing this to people in Pennsylvania recently, asking for $5,000. In 2017, it happened in Philadelphia, with the scammers asking for Bitcoin as payment. Police said that they take this very seriously. Not only are they threatening to kill you, which is a death threat, but it's also an extortion, said the cops. And unlike many other scams we've talked about, you too should take this seriously and tell the police. It's unlikely anyone is going to kill you, but such a threat is no laughing matter. We have one question for you. What scams have you come across online? And have you ever fallen for one? Tell us in the comments. Also, be sure to check out our other video, Most Dangerous Hackers of All Time. Thanks for watching, and as always, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.